And what a goal it is too. It's Liverpool 2, Manchester City 1. The magic man, Mo Salah. I mean, it's breathtaking. It really is.
Only the best players in the world score goals like this. The first touch, the first challenge he wins, then going there and putting on the right foot and finishing the situation off like he did. Absolutely exceptional. People will talk about this goal for a long, long time, and in 50-60 years still.
And we'll continue that conversation. In fact, it was only yesterday, so I think we're allowed to do it. It's not 56 years yet. Nope. We can purr over it, we can dissect it. It was a beautiful goal. Comes up with big goals in big games as well, Ali, which I think is important for when you're calling these players like Jamie Carragher did this weekend, one of the best in Europe, if not the best in Europe. I think he said actually there's no one playing in Europe at the moment that is better. 6 Premier League goals so far this season. Just an unbelievable goal yesterday. In all competitions this season, the Egyptian winger has scored 12 in 10 matches so far. Ali, what do you think? Are you along the same lines as Jamie Carragher? Is anyone playing better football in Europe at the moment?
Difficult to argue, isn't it? Let's be honest. I mean, you could make cases probably for another 2 or 3, but he's certainly up there. I mean, his goal yesterday, would you? Dear me, man. The drag back, then onto his left, onto his right, and then hits it early. You know, he's got no right to score for the angle, but it's just because he hits it early with his right foot and goes in off the post. It's watching and you know, sometimes you watch somebody and you go, that's genius. You watch somebody that's at the top of their profession, no matter what it is they do, and you go, wow, that is good. It was just a brilliant goal. It really was. I mean, I told you yesterday, I got in after the Rangers game, we watched it, and he scored a goal. Boys are on a couple of pints, and it was just one of those moments where you go, wow, and we're just looking at each other and saying that was just something special.
There was a man at Anfield yesterday who's joining us now. Football writer for the Daily Mail, Dominic King, is on the line. Good morning, Dominic.
Morning, Dom. How are you?
Good morning, everyone. How are we?
We are good.
It was some game, mate. I mean, and that goal, I mean, what a finish, mate. What did you think?
It was, well, you just hit the nail on the head, Ali. What a game. It was that 45 minutes in the second half was just football of the highest standard.
Agreed.
And the goal, I mean, it was one of those. I looked around the press box and the near vicinity of the supporters close by us, and everybody was like sort of wide-eyed, open-mouthed because they couldn't believe what they'd seen. It was absolutely staggering. He is the best in Europe at the minute. Even
the wee drag back with his Solis foot from Bernardo Silva's, that in itself's worth the admission fee, man.
I know. Well, I mean, I put a line in my stuff about him this morning. I said the 4 City players that tried to look like him looked like like they'd been pickpocketed and realised the wallets had gone. It was just amazing.
Right. Tell us a bit about the atmosphere, because Pep was fuming. He was basically saying there's the Anfield influence on the referee because James Milner should have had a second yellow and should have been sent off.
Well, he's right for that. He should have had a second. He should have had a second yellow card. There's absolutely no doubt about that. Don't know why Paul Tierney refrained from showing it. It was Guardiola had every right to be incensed, but in terms of the atmosphere, it was just brilliant. I know we've been talking a lot since August about how it's great that how we all feel like life's come back to normal. But that yesterday, the noise inside the stadium, the energy that was there, that's what you want from the Premier League. That's what top class football is all about. The noise, the feel of the place. It was a privilege to be there yesterday. It really was.
Dom, we're talking, right? Because I was watching the game, and you might remember what I'm going to say to you, right? Obviously the goal, there's that many talking points, but the pace of the game, the quality of the game. There was an instant, a time in the second half, Dom, when Robertson crossed the ball, right, and it came back out and it came to a City player, and he took it off him. He got back to take it off, and I'm thinking to myself, how did he cover that ground after the cross? The pace of the game was amazing.
Yeah, it was. It was. You know what? To make the comparison between how it was when City came in February and there was nobody in the stadium, to yesterday, it was like being on the moon. It was that different. And you know, it was interesting to hear Pep's comments about it all, because he said in that game in February when Liverpool made it 1-1, he said Anfield at 1-1 in the 68th minute with a crowd is completely different to what we've played in today.
Talk to us a bit about Phil Foden's goal as well, because that was just exceptional too, wasn't it?
Laura, I can't find praise high enough for what I think of this kid. I just think he's going to be one of the best English players of all time. I think if he keeps going on what he's doing, he's got everything. The way he played against James Milner in the first half, and they were doubling up with Grealish and then João Cancelo. I mean, how good was he?
Tremendous.
But there's a slow motion replay of Foden's goal, where his eyes and his body shape and the way he's actually struck the ball, it was football again of the highest level. What a player! What a goal! And De Bruyne's goal as well.
Yeah.
Can I ask you about? There's a news story here that's made the back page of a couple of the newspapers. Have you got any information about this alleged spitting incident, basically, at the Manchester City coaches?
Yeah. So it's one fan. City have got some. They've either got it on camera or there's they've definitely got evidence of it. So one fan is meant to have allegedly spat at one of their coaching staff after one of the goals. And Laura, whoever's done that's just reprehensible. It's there's no place for them. It's just I'm sick of these things happening. And people say, "Oh yeah, it's one person." It doesn't matter. That one person has made this story go on the back page of a number of newspapers. It's made it a talking point. It's just been on your bulletin before I came on. That shouldn't have been the case. We should be talking about the game of football that we witnessed yesterday, the brilliance of it. And once again, an idiot has brought shame on the club. Let's not mince the words. There's just no place for people behaving like that in society. There's too much of it. I've seen too much of it this year. It's just sickening.
Absolutely dominant, and hopefully the culprit will be dealt with, which I'm sure they will. But I want to take you back to the game, mate, because the game's far more, pleasurable to talk about. I want to ask you, I mean, we spoke about Foden's performance there, and obviously, with James Milner, I thought lucky to stay on the park. Right now, before I qualify, Foden was in such form. I think he could have done that to MD, right? Absolutely, MD the form he was in yesterday. But they look to me as though they're certainly missing Trent, particularly going forward. Is that fair?
Yeah, of course. I mean, Trent's outstanding. Trent's absolutely the dynamic that he gives the team in terms of what his set pieces, his deliveries. He's been in excellent form this year. But I did actually think, in some ways, it wasn't an injury that I thought was going to really sort of hamstring Liverpool yesterday, because Jordan Henderson was going to fit in. Milner was, the discipline at the back. It was going to sort of shut an avenue down for City to attack. But, that first half, the way they played City, you could see the influence of Trent not being there, because he would have asked a different question going forward. Maybe that would have stopped City going. City having so much joy down the left as they did. But Trent's the best right back in the league. Of course, you're going to miss him.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods, Monday to Wednesday morning 6 till 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.